Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tawana Rivers. This is the 10K Project, and we are here again for another week where we love on a Black founder who is doing amazing things. Tonight, we are speaking to Miss Beverly with CariBBrew Coffee. This is a coffee I happen to have purchased and love it. So I'm so happy to introduce you guys to Miss Beverly and her brand. The call to action tonight will be simple. It will be to consider investing after you hear the presentation today. Also, go to the website and order some CariBBrew coffee. But more importantly, share the heck out of this campaign link so that more people can know about CariBBrew and it can become a household name. Miss Beverly will tell us all about what she's doing. We'll start off this evening by sharing the campaign page. This campaign is on WeFunder. And so Talisha is going to pull that up for us, and we'll be putting it in the chat throughout the evening as well. So those of you watching and here with us don't have to worry about that. So as I stated, this campaign is on WeFunder. Ms. Beverly and her team has done an amazing job. They've been raising for a little while now, but they have almost met their goal, which is wonderful. They're at $104,350. They're trying to raise at least the $124,000. This is a future equity deal with a $4 million valuation cap. This is Haitian coffee. As I stated, it is very, very delicious also. And Ms. Beverly will tell us the difference between Haitian coffee and some coffee beans that we've highlighted from like other places in the world, like South Africa and all of that. So I want to hear a lot about kind of the origin of the Haitian coffee bean. The campaign page is filled with great information. So you want to make sure you look through all of it, right? Beverly and her team spent a lot of time making sure they put all of the information out here that they knew you needed to see in order to make an informed decision about investing. And so we want you to go through all of that. And Beverly, you are out of New Jersey, right?
Yes, so we are actually right now both in New Jersey and North Carolina, and I will talk more about why.
Very good. Very, very good. So look at the campaign page. Miss Beverly is a little under the weather today, so we may not be able to go till 10 and 11 o'clock, y'all. we may have to cut tonight a little short, but what I want you to do is take note of the Ask a Question section here on the WeFunder page. If we don't get to your question tonight, or if you think of some additional questions, this is where you can add that question. Right there, you see overview, details, updates, what people say, and then ask a question. And then that's where you'll be able to post your question, and Beverly and her team will be more than happy to respond to you there. I love putting your question there anyway, because everyone can see what you asked. They may also have had that same question. And so, it's an easier way to kind of keep everything contained as well. So with that said, we'll stop sharing. Beverly, we will turn it over to you to tell us a little bit about yourself and how CariBBrew Coffee became one of the best coffees out there.
Well, thank you so much, Tawana, for having me and the 10K Project. All of you, thank you for your time today. So CariBBrew started really out of a passion to make a difference, trying to make a long story short. Originally, I am from Haiti, and I remember I really was interested in social impact. At the time, back when I was in college, social impact businesses were becoming more common. Like you had the rise of Tom shoes. For every shoe you buy, you get a pair, you give a pair to a kid in Africa, and so forth and so on. So I got into some project like that, but then I always asked myself, well, my family included, but I know a lot of people, when they go home, they donate, like toys for kids, essentials for adults. But what exactly could I do that has a more long-term impact that allows people to help themselves and that we can be proud of, So I just started searching, export in Haiti, and discovered through my uncle, who was also like a coffee lover, how Haiti was a major coffee exporter from the 1800 all the way to late 1900. And the reason I mentioned those dates is because early, like before 1900, unfortunately, Haitians, we did not benefit from that trade. France did. So I want to just, it's a big thing for us, but I want to just make it short because right now what we are doing is for us and by us. There are a lot of time where we have resources, but we don't make any money from our own resources. That could be a whole subject. I'm not gonna stay there, but pretty much Haiti at some point was the third largest coffee producer in the world. It was a very good business for France. And when we became independent, we had this penalty that was imposed on us by France and the international community that's equivalent to today's money of almost 21 billion. That it took us years, over 20 years to pay that debt, and coffee was the main product we sold to pay it back. And the reason I wanted to make this statement or share this fact, more people need to know about it. The Eiffel Tower, half of it was built with our money. So because this is a 10K project, and I know beyond business, we care about, activism, and we care about supporting Black-owned brands for a reason. So it just became, at the time, clear to me that, well, if they could benefit from it, why not do it and for us to benefit from it? So also, it makes very good business sense. In terms of landscape, Haiti's climate, the tropical weather, the mountainous landscape, the higher the elevation, better coffee beans, it makes it very prone to develop great quality coffee. The reason I also want to mention that is because when you have a chance where profit and impact can match or can marry, you have a great opportunity, right? Because not all the time you find this great match. So Haiti, it's not like we are introducing the crop. The crop has already been there. So much so that beside the US, Japan is another big buyer of Haiti's coffee. And they've always been, because this particular market focuses on quality more than quantity. Everybody knows when you buy Japanese product, they are very big on quality. So many people know also about the Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee. And Haiti has the same landscape. And for us, we start with Haiti, we expand to other Caribbean nations as we have more demand. But our goal is to make a difference one cup at a time. I also like to say we want to be a Black-owned company from farm to cup. That means starting with the farmers, which is the source, going into the corporate itself, which is us, we own the business, and even our investors and beyond, our customers, all the way in the supply chain, as much as we can employ and hire and develop talents in our community, we go about doing that. Okay, so that's more on the impact side, but pretty much outside of that, needless to say, I love coffee. I love great quality coffee, and Haiti's coffee is top tier. And I would love for you all to try it for yourself. So it's not just me saying that. And also beyond the coffee beans, we have expanded to cocoa. Let's say now for the holidays, our line of hot chocolate is always a bestseller. And some tropical teas, because there were people who really loved, the story, the impact, but they were like, okay, what else do you offer? So it makes sense for us to offer, to have a great lineup for different type of customers. So our goal, or the way we want to structure the company, is to have multiple stream of revenues. And I did prepare a slide, a pitch deck. However, it's pretty much the same info on WeFunder, so I'm not going to be redundant going back and forth between the slide. So I'll just focus on the key highlight. So we sell right now primarily e-commerce, some retail and wholesale, and then now to our cafes. And think about your biggest coffee brand in the world. I don't want to say names because maybe trademark purposes, but you have, let's say, our unique product or top tier product or gift item on our website exclusively, but you also have some, not lower end, but a little bit more affordable product in the grocery section of your grocery stores, because people consume coffee on a daily basis and we want to be accessible, right? So that's why e-commerce is number one. Then we have retail partnership number two. And number three now is our cafes. So we are opening our first flagship cafe in Newark, New Jersey. Shout out to Big City. Anybody from Newark or Philly, let me know. So I can tell you why Newark, but pretty much we went to a great length of building out the store because the long-term goal is to be able to franchise it. What I mean by that is we didn't just do a cookie cutter, well, you just take an existing store, just change the labels and make it CariBBrew. No, we found a great development like 5 minutes from downtown Newark and Newark Penn Station that goes into New York. And it was pretty much a vanilla box. And we work with a great architect, we build the layout for what CariBBrew's coffee shop supposed to look like in the future worldwide. So we want to make sure that we are accessible. That includes online. We also do Amazon FBA, but also through retail partners. We've done some wholesale as well with other like small coffee shop. We have a wholesale program. And the other big one is the cafes, because we want to offer a real life experience to our consumers. Because at the end of the day, when you have a food brand, there's nothing like people being able to taste, touch, smell, all of those. Sometimes you cannot convey to an online website. We've done trade shows from New York Coffee Festival every year, to LA, we were at Essence Festival as a vendor. We go there at least every other year. So we've done all of those great shows, and we realize sometimes there are products that people don't think about. Or for example, one of our signature blend is our Caribbean spice coffee. It's our Haitian coffee with some cinnamon spice roasted and ground together. It's just like think of your flavored coffee, but better, and also better for you. So a lot of people, sometimes they just don't know about it. They just stick with the first item on the website. But when you do shows, trade shows and consumer shows, it allows you to connect with your consumers. It allows you to get instant feedback. And for example, when we saw how much people loved it, then we push it more in our online marketing. And it's been one of our best sellers to date. So we want to be lean as well, which is very important. And that's why we want to start with one shop and franchise the concept. We also want to be to keep our quality as we grow. Like quality control, all of that is very important to us. And what we want to be is a reference. When people think of hot beverages, coffee, chocolate, all of those to take off CariBBrew. And I'm talking about beyond, even if they don't care about the impact, which we do care about, even if they just they're a regular, everyday coffee drinker. But to know, like, if I'm buying a gift for my coworker, for my partner, for my loved one, or I want to treat myself, CariBBrew is the brand to go to. And for us, it's a long-term, it's a vision, it's a long-term passion, That's why I put in the WeFounder, the name of the game is long-term. Because, and I just want to be transparent. Outside of SaaS business model and tech model, consumer packaged goods tend to need more time for growth.
Yes.
And I just want to be realistic with that. And that's okay with us. We are very ambitious in our goals, but we are also very realistic on how we're going to get there. So in a snapshot, we've been averaging at $500,000 of sales each year. Last year, that decreased, and I will explain why. We got into Sprouts Farmers Market. If anyone is in California or Atlanta, they are all over the West Coast and some southern states. But we got into 300 stores at once. They love the product. They say, okay, we want it on our shelves. It was a great opportunity, but because of lack of funding, we just couldn't keep up. We couldn't stay in the store. You would have a PO coming in, you would fulfill it, because the stores do not like to run out. That's retail shelf space. I think at this point it was in Manhattan space. Like it's just such in high demand that they don't want to be out of stock, which makes sense. But the rate at which those orders were coming at us without the proper working capital, you just can't keep up because you have to pay suppliers, you have to pay your workers, you have to buy packaging. So that's why there was this decrease in our sales from last year. And that's why I said, okay, I am not moving forward without sitting down and making a plan to raise some funding because it's crucial for the business we are in. And that being said, we could remain a one-shop small coffee brand and, because we know many small local coffee brands and they just stay that way for 20 years. However, this is not the goal. The goal is to be a conglomerate that sells across, not just the state, across the world. We already have demand from not just Haitian Canadian, but people in Canada. I've had people in Japan reaching out. So I know that this can go beyond the United States. It's a fact because we do have, the demand is there, but we haven't pushed it because we don't have the capacity yet. So going back, I said, well, let's focus on raising capital. So even the valuation that we have now is discounted because 2 years ago, we were in great conversation with the Fearless Fund, Ian Simon, some of you probably very familiar with them. Their valuation was at 7 million. At the time, they got into this legal situation. They had a lawsuit. They won the lawsuit, which is great, recently, but it wasn't doable at the time. And there were so many changes. The CFO had left, so it wasn't possible. But that was 5 to 7 million. 7 was the high, the lowest was 5. I had another VC fund also that was very interested. They said, we love everything you do, but we don't invest in companies below 1 million in annual revenue. At least 800, 900, you're about to touch it. You have PO at hand, so we know you're going to get there. So I said, well, let's do a friends and family round, which is this round, because at the end of the day, we are a community-based brand. Our customers, I mean, some of those reviews that they have left is beyond just a coffee. Some people's like, oh my gosh, this transport me back home, when I was growing up. And some people were like, well, we went to Jamaica for my honeymoon, and this coffee, because we also sell Jamaican Blue Mountain, this coffee reminds me of that. It's so sentimental, and the people who get the impact really get it, that I said, well, let's just do it. Because at first we were skeptical about crowdfunding because we said, well, if you do that, how are you going to raise VC valuation and all of that? But at the end of the day, there's enough money within our community to raise $500,000, even more. But we cap it at 500. The first goal is the 124,000. The 124,000 is the first goal, which we are almost there. But after 500, that's why we would, cap the investment for now. But pretty much the goal is the next time we have a retailer knocking our doors, what happened with Sprout doesn't repeat itself. And we have been investing in our supply chain in order to do so. Right now, the reason we operate out of New Jersey and North Carolina is because New Jersey is where we started. But it was very hard for us to get a proper warehouse because the cost of real estate is close to New York City. So we purchased a 18,000 square foot facility in North Carolina, 1 hour from Raleigh, which is the city. And that is on the East Coast. So I went to school in North Carolina. Maybe I'm biased. I came back. So I had some contact in the States. But the goal is a space that allows us to grow. But as we grow, before we take VC money, those, how do I say it? Less founder-friendly money. Before we take any of those money, we'll be able to go to the bank and do a lot more PO financing to even get to beyond 1 million, even 5 million before we actually raise VC, like hardcore money, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, what we need is working capital to just keep on going. So VC is good, but at the end of the day, VC is not the goal. The goal is capital. So we realized as we were going to the bank, even with Sprout, with PO at hand, with $150,000, $200,000 POs, they were like, well, you don't have enough asset to back this. You don't have this, you don't have that. And we realized, okay, at first we were thinking of VC as the only source of investment, but we said, let's just backtrack. Let's do a friends and family round. Let us allow our community, our customers, our friends and family to become the early investors. And then from there, a mix of that and a mix of loan to get to the next step, which is first 1 million, then 5 million. Then now at 5 million, let's have some more VC conversation to get to 20 and more. So it's been now almost 6 years. November will be 6 years. So I do not want to keep on talking too much because you can tell I love what I do. And we have a team behind us. It's not just me. It's like three co-founders, four co-founders total. One is not active right now. 3 of us are active. And then we have employees. What I love is the fact that when we started buying from Haiti, we were buying only from 900 farmers, now 3,000. So that's why I never had a goal to stay small, because the bigger we get, the more impact we can make. Also in North Carolina, where we purchased our warehouse, it's in Rocky Mount, which is a historically Black area, and there is a lot of need in the area, me being fair and truthful. But we already see the workforce who's applying for those jobs. We see that we can continue to make the impact to the people we hire here in the United States, not only in Haiti. And lastly, Newark also, if you know, has a great history, and it is also a historically Black neighborhood, and Newark is being developed so much. But what I did like about the mayor when I had a chance to meet with him is, we don't want what happened to Brooklyn and even Harlem to happen to Newark. We want to grow and develop with our people. So they created a fund that provides loan and mostly loan, but provide capital to Black-owned businesses, which is why it made it possible for the first shop to be there. So in a nutshell, our goal overall is going to be capped at $500,000. The 4 million is discounted because we are doing a friends and family round. How you're going to make money legally, we cannot promise, we cannot guarantee how you're going to make money. But what we see is that a VC round or an institutional round is in the future for CariBBrew. So let's say now that you come in at 4 million, we expect by then for the valuation to go up, and the difference could be your profit. You can choose to sell your share to the new investors that coming down the line, or you can hold it. You never know, if we go public one day, that's when you probably you can decide to sell your shares. In the future, we might do some how would I say it? The word is I'm missing the word, but we might do some
dividends, dividend payments.
Dividends. Thank you, some dividends. But because we need cash to grow, that's why we do not mention that. I don't want to make false promises. But we only see the brand growing. And even if between last year, like you don't see it in the sales amount, I just know what's working in the back end, how we are positioning ourselves for growth. And we saw many trend in the consumer market, in the demand for healthier beverages. When people now go to the grocery store, they look at how much sugar is in their beverages, and some of those coffee brands is like 30 grams of sugar for one bottle, coffee. So we have a line of better for you, health conscious products that are also very delicious. And we will continue to expand on those. We follow the market trend. We get the product, the source from home, but we make sure we stay in tune with the market who's buying from us on a daily basis. With that being said, I would love to take questions, but pretty much our goal is to be the go-to beverage brand, especially for hot beverages, first in the United States, then Canada. So it's a North American expansion, then around the world. And we have a unique concept so many things are like, it's hard to have a consumer packaged brand that really, somebody else cannot copy. And I remember I did a pitch competition and somebody said, well, if the biggest coffee brand, I don't want to say names, but if the biggest coffee brand were to launch Haitian coffee now, how would you compete? I said, well, nobody can, the authenticity that we have, nobody can duplicate that. The authenticity, the story, where we are from, how we connect the dots, and also the ambition and the passion that we have. You can copy a product, but to copy a brand like ours, it's going to be very, 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 very hard to do that. So thank you again for your time. I hope to see you as investors, customers, partners, and who knows, it's just the beginning. So I'm thankful for the chance to speak with you, and I'll take any questions now.
Very good. So, guys, go ahead and put your questions in the Q&A. I see we've got one or two out there now, but I like to go first because I'm a potential investor as well, and I've got some questions. First, I want to talk about, you mentioned, the cafe in New Jersey, the cafe in North Carolina, but you also said the word franchise. And so I want to talk about that a little bit. Have you already started that process, or is that down the line where you would think about franchising the locations?
So we have started the process. And what I mean by that is it takes a good 6 months for the lawyers to get all the paperwork together to have your, operational agreement, all of that, right? But in the meantime, we have actually someone from here who told me about the 10K project, who was interested in opening a CariBBrew shop in Philadelphia. I also have another contact who want to open in Boston. So we have the demand, but that's without any advertising. We haven't advertised to say that we are franchising. We've seen some people, and I have my customer base because we sell online. They're all over the States. Top cities are Brooklyn, New York. I know my top 5, Brooklyn, New York. Then we have Miami, Florida. Then we have Manhattan, but Manhattan is wide, like lower, upper, but Manhattan. We also have the DC area, and that's because we do a lot of Northeast shows, and California is in top 5. So when we post and we share the email about, hey, guys, we're gonna be open in Newark, I have customers in Miami. When are you coming to Miami? When are you coming to, different states, different areas? So we know the best way to do that is, at this stage, is to franchise and have partners. And I want people to make money with CariBBrew. It's never been about just us. If the vision cannot be big enough for other folks to join, to me, like, what's the point? So the franchise it's coming up, but we do want the first cafe to be open and operational. So when people want to franchise, they can come and see what it would look like.
Right. And you can perfect the model and make sure you get everything seamlessly so that you can just duplicate that. I love that. We recently did a session on franchising here at the 10K Project. So I know many people are interested, and to be able to have a Black-owned brand, right, to franchise is in line with what we do here. And so I know that's very appealing to the community as well. So one of the questions that we have is from Kevin. Kevin said, you're in Rocky Mount, can you grow beans there? But the beans come from Haiti, right? The beans are not grown locally.
No, the beans come from Haiti. Mostly, I would say 90%. Then we have 10% like from Jamaica. It's more like a limited edition. We will open up to more Caribbean islands. As long as it stay, within our branding, we are more than open to that. But we haven't had enough demand yet where we have to really source from other places, because Haiti can provide a good amount of coffee, a lot of coffee. So you cannot grow beans in Rocky Mount. I believe the only U.S. state that grows coffee is Hawaii. But again, that's a whole nother logistics. So, but when I mean warehousing, that means we bring the raw material here, we are roasting, we are packaging here, we are shipping from here, we are doing all that stuff from here.
So I know you do wholesale. Do you also private label?
At this stage, so we do private label for, in quote, non-competitors. What I mean by that is, we do private label. Let's say you have a gifting company, you want coffee in your box, in your basket. You have a special event. Let's say if you are end of your gala, we can do private label for you. We do private label for other coffee shop, but that's not with the Haitian coffee. So if you just need someone to roast and package because we have the capacity, we do that also to expand or to diversify our revenue. But at this stage, we want to finish solidifying ourselves as the go-to place for Haiti's coffee. Then maybe that's something we can do.
Very good. Let's see. Larry said, love your passion and message. Miss Patrice says, oh, she was just the link. She got the link to work. Very good. I love the impact and mission behind the business, right? It's just not a product that you're selling. There's so much more behind this. And while the product is kind of the foundation, it's driven by something bigger than that, right? You talk about the 3,000 farmers that you're getting the beans from, and then the local jobs that you're providing. I mean, you're making an impact literally all over the world. And that is absolutely amazing. And not an easy feat, right? I mean, it's a lot of responsibility on top of just brand, right? But so honorable, because there's mission behind this. And I agree with you. Someone may be able to sell another Haitian coffee, but you can't duplicate the brand. I absolutely agree. And we can hear that passion coming through. As I've shared, I have tasted the coffee. We have it in our home. The cold brew is next on the list to buy, because cold brew as well. And so, to the community, I would say, while you're considering the potential investment, buy the products, right? Taste it, try it out, make sure you love it, tell everybody about it. I mean, it's really, really good. Oftentimes that's one of the good ways to see is this a brand that you think others are going to, right? You think the business is going to do what the founder says it's going to do. One of the ways to do that is to buy the brand. I love how you're being thoughtful about the next steps, right? I really, really love that. We've had a lot of founders come in and say, we had the purchase orders, and they experienced the same exact thing that you experienced, where they still couldn't get the capital they needed. And so you got to refocus the plan and rethink the strategy. And it sounds like you're doing just that, and that you've done that, and you've got a good plan forward, which, when we think about founders we want to invest in, you are living what that looks like in real time. And so it's very, very it's not gone unnoticed, right? The fact that you're really being thoughtful about how you move forward. So I love that.
Thank you for that. It's a process. It's a process, but again, since we want to be a legacy brand, you have to look at the future and then you backtrack from there and see how we get there. And for me, one message I would like to say as well, even beyond CariBBrew, I just love what you are doing with the 10K project, because I do not want to normalize the lack of capital available to Black founders, especially Black women founders, because sometimes we normalize the struggle. And I have seen people with less brand awareness, with less, not even product, like top quality product, raise way more money than my hardworking fellow Black entrepreneurs. The reason I say that is because I've done so many, how do you call it, accelerator programs, especially during COVID, where every bank was coming with, accelerator program for Black women. So I was kind of going back to school. And when I tell you, I did one that was by Project W. They are with a law firm in New York. And it was just for women founders, not only Black women. It was myself and probably two other folks who were like Black, Black. Everybody else were like Caucasian, maybe one Hispanic. And I remember vividly, everybody has raised some kind of capital. Everybody except us. And the one who did not go to VCs, they raised $200K within their family members alone. Not even crowdfunding. They raised $250,000 just between their family members alone. So that generational wealth affects us big time, because many times we can't raise that friend and family only within our family. But beyond that, I remember there was one particular great product, great story, but again, nothing we haven't seen with less proof of concept, raised 2 million from the get-go, her and her brother, 2 million from the get-go to launch this product. And I know what they did right because I like to study other success stories. But again, it's a connection. It's how they've been able to get in front of the people who have the money, the capacity to make it happen. Had we had even half of that, different story. Different story. But that's why I said also what you're doing is great because while we might not have one person with a $1 million check, but 100 of us can come with $1 million. And that's the power of community. And I just love what you are doing because we're also a community-based brand.
Yeah, thank you very much. And you know, we pride ourselves on doing this. You know, we've been doing it for 4.5 years now. I think Beverly, you might be founder number 149.
Wow.
I feel like we need to celebrate next week. We're gonna have 150, but like this is, you know, and it's not easy, right? Because we're everyday people. We are everyday people. We're not rich people. We're everyday people also trying to build wealth for ourselves, right? But what we know to be true is that Black people are amazing, and Black founders are changing the world with innovative products and services and building amazing tech. And so often you never become the household name because you didn't get the 2 million, the $20 million, right? And someone else less spectacular comes behind, and because they did get the money, they become the household name. And so we're a community of people that says, not on our watch, right? We don't want that to continue. We want amazing Black founders to be seen and heard, because we're unmatched, right? And something like money should not stand in the way. Because to your point, if we all put our little bit of coins together, we can do amazing things, right? It only takes a mighty few. I say that all the time. You know, only takes a mighty few. And we know how to show up and show out. And I pray that the community does that for you. I pray that you know, they look at the campaign page, that they consider what the investment deal terms are, and understand all of that, right? All of that information is on the campaign page. But I also want them to buy the product. I want them to taste it. I want them to taste the love that's in the bag, right? I want them to listen to your story again and know that this is not just about a product. This is about life-changing, mission-focused impact work in addition to a really wonderful product, right? A superior product. And so, you know, for the community members that are here with us this evening, and to all of those that will watch this replay or will see these snippets, I ask for you to consider investing in CariBBrew, but more than anything else, share this campaign link, because Beverly needs as many people as possible to see this so that she can meet her first goal and then exceed that and go to the primary goal, right, of getting the 500,000. We've seen it happen, right? We know that it can happen in crowdfunding. And I always say to all the founders that have decided to take on crowdfunding, right? I take my hat off to you because it's not easy, right? It's a lot of work in addition to running the business itself. And so I am always, I feel honored when founders take the time to come to the everyday people, right? And give us a chance to invest from the ground up, because many of us, right, are not accredited investors, right? Which means that, you know, they would never get the opportunity to invest in bigger companies at this stage in business. And so to the founders that take this route, I really, really want to say thank you. I don't think you guys know how much we appreciate the opportunity. So just like you appreciate the capital being infused, we appreciate having the opportunity to infuse it somewhere, and be able to kind of support your vision and goals and dreams, and hopefully, right, build a little wealth of our own while doing so.
Yes, yes.
understand it's the long game, right? We understand we're looking at, possibly 7 to 10 years before this could turn into something big for the masses. But we see the seeds being planted. I mean, you're 6 years in and you're getting ready to have 2 cafes. You've got, almost $500,000 a year is in revenue is not something to, right, to shrug at. That's a big darn deal. That is congratulations. That's wonderful. And so to see what 6 years has brought, right? You've learned so much. You're educating yourself on the process, right? And in 6 more years, I can only think how wonderful this is going to be to see the empire that you are going to build. So congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you, Tawana, and the 10K project, because there are a lot of different audiences out there, but this feels like home. And I'm just happy to be here and just to share this with you.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. Any other questions for Beverly, guys? I know you're being respectful because she doesn't feel well, but any other questions, burning questions that you want to ask before we say goodnight?
And again, what you mentioned, the questions can be added to WeFunder. So, we'll get to the questions online as well, and it's going to be visible for other people as well.
Jesse said, Haiti and Haitian people have been getting beat up on in the media a lot lately. It's refreshing to see you present this vision. We are so proud of you and your product. God bless.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you.
Very nice. Wayne says, seems like we already had a company pitch this name. No, we didn't have a CariBBrew before, Wayne. No, we have not. You may have heard me when I got my coffee. You may have heard me talk about it because it's delish. But we haven't had CariBBrew on before. And thank you to Joseph, who introduced us.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Gosh, I think that may have been a year ago now. I feel like almost, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, you guys here in the community, oftentimes the catalyst for how we get these introductions to some of our founders, and Joseph's introduced Beverly and I a while back. I think it was even before she had decided to do the crowdfunding.
Yes, because I was debating it. It's like, as you know, you're running a business, then you have to do the crowdfunding, then you have to market it. But yes, I remember that was early summer of last year, maybe May of last year.
Yeah. But here we are. I'm glad we finally were able to make this happen. Beverly, once you come to the 10K project, we're here to love on you throughout. It's not a one and done, right? So we'll invite you back. We want to hear updates. We're going to want to know about how the franchising process is going, right? Because there may be other founders here in the community that want to take that route as well. So we may bring you back as a subject matter expert to help us understand what that process looks like from your standpoint. But we want to be here to support you throughout the rest of this journey. So for everyone who's in Rocky Mount, right? Keep your eye open for the cafe to open. For those of you who are on the East Coast, that New York, Philly, New Jersey area, go and support. But the e-commerce site is up. It's CariBBrew.com.
Yes.
Right, CariBBrew.com.
And simple, just our business
Very
name.
simple, and it's a lot of products. And it's all in stock. So you know how sometimes we go to these sites and it's like everything's sold out? That is not the case. There's supply. Like I said, the coffee is really good. I haven't tried the Jamaican coffee, but we've tried the Haitian and the cold brew. So you guys have got to go and support. Thank you, Talisha, for putting that in the chat. Very good. Oh, we've got another question. Let's see. Eddie says no question.
Oh, okay.
Purchase, he's got a comment. He says, I have purchased this amazing coffee in the past and enjoyed it. I sought a brand of color and was not disappointed. He said, Tawana, awesome job getting such a quality founder on with us. Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep. And I'm glad. See, I'm not making this up. The coffee is good, y'all. Like you're making it up. When I don't
and
like
that's
it,
why I said
stay quiet.
And you are so right. And that's why we say it's too good of a product, too good of a mission to let just lack of capital just keep us small in a corner. We just want to, we'll fight to get to where we need to. And that's solved by having the right capital because we realize you can have many things going for you, but that one piece can, make it challenging. And also like the fact that we've had a couple of celebrity endorsements. We've had Gabrielle, Tracy Ellis Ross, and I had a chance to meet her in person. Amazon had a panel last year with AdColor. And she was on stage with me and another Black founder, and it's just good to see that full circle moment. So I know that, and at Essence Festival, many celebrities purchase our coffee. So I know that it's a product that can be mass marketed in a good way. So we can have from everybody to people with more money, some people who are dabbing into coffee, some people who are like actual coffee drinkers. And it's just important for us to get the word out there. And even if you cannot invest right now, as a matter of fact, I will keep the refounder open until December of this year.
Nice.
So that's one thing I almost forgot, because I do not want to roll it over the next calendar year, tax purposes. But if you don't have the money now, it's okay. You have a couple of months. Now, I would love for you to invest now so I can close early. But it's doable, right? And if you know someone else who would be interested, please share. And yeah, the more people who know about it, the better.
Very, very good. Yeah, share. I mean, the coffee industry, right? This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And I know some of you are thinking, yeah, there are a lot of coffee companies out there, and they're all doing well because this is a billion-dollar industry. Most people, if you and I think about, for those of you who are coffee drinkers, and I'm not just talking about you get a cup of one every so often, or you still drinking Folgers. I'm talking like diehard coffee drinkers. You look for premium brands, you buy premium brands, right? Most people don't have one brand. Most people they have what they feel like, right? So today I feel like my cup of Haitian coffee. Tomorrow I may feel like my cup of something else, right? So the fact that there's competition in the market, don't let that distract you when you talk about billion-dollar industries. And if you need to do a little research on those numbers from a potential due diligence standpoint, I recommend you do that as you consider investing in CariBBrew. All right, one final call for questions. I think we had another comment pop up, but any other questions? Kevin says, my family owns up to 200 acres of farmland in Edgecombe County outside Rocky Mount. Too bad we can't grow coffee in North Carolina. But that doesn't mean that Beverly can't buy your property and have a manufacturing plant in Rocky Mount. Maybe that's phase 2 of all of this.
Yes, and maybe also maybe some of the crops for our tea product, our other product line. You never know. It's like it's always a full circle moment. Things we talk about 5 years ago that now become a reality, but it's always good to connect. Please also feel free to follow us on social media. It's CariBBrew on all pages: Instagram, Facebook, X, used to be Twitter. Also, if you see me on LinkedIn, feel free to add me as a contact as well. I like to stay connected. So with that, when I was wondering, because I'm still a little under the weather, if that covers most of the questions.
I think it does.
Okay. So I probably will hop off soon.
Thank you so much for joining us. And even though you weren't feeling well, thank you for being such a good sport and joining us. And I hope you get some rest so that you can get back to 100%, because you got an empire to finish building, girl.
Exactly. So thanks again for having me, and thank you, everyone.
Have a good night, everyone. Share this campaign link, everyone. Love you guys. Good night.